please don't use it all to spend on your kids and use it all to spend on products and services. Reinvest that money back into yourself to create lasting wealth, to create money and stocks and a portfolio that will continue to generate income and profits for you. So if you don't know, and I know many of you do know, but when you're investing, you're not only participating or using your money to go to work for you to create an accumulation of wealth, or you're hopefully that it's growing, and it does grow. So over time, the S&P 500 from its inception has averaged, and that's depending on if it's up or down, about 10% of the year growth rate. So don't be scared of crashes. Don't be scared of, especially if you're following this channel, I'll give you some great tips. If it looks like the market's going to crash, the things that I do and the things I'll share with you. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I am a personal finance coach. I am a business person. Maybe not the greatest business person, but I've done pretty well. And I'm a life coach also. So I want to help mentor and teach and share with you from my experience, failures and successes. So I've had a lot of failures and I've had a great number of successes. And guess what? The failures will help teach you. But if you can learn how to go past a hurdle and not hit the same failures that some of us have gone through, or we can share some of our experiences with you, what has you can propel yourself greater, faster, without the same obstacles. Okay, it's one thing to have obstacles of your own. It's another to have an obstacle that someone has been through and say, hey, I'm willing to help you get over that, or help you get around that. And you're not willing to take the advice, and then you fall into the same pitfall, and you have to go through that experience when you didn't have to go through it. So experience is not always the best teacher in some things. You got to use experience, and you got to use mentorship. You have to use knowledge that can be shared by others who have been through a similar thing, and that will help propel you faster, farther, and without as many headaches. All right, so that's great. So I started off giving you all the dividend, high dividend yield funds, some of them that I'm in, and I'm in many of them. So I'm going to take it slowly. I'm not going to rush into it. And you make your own due diligence. You make your own decisions. But I'm going to just set up the scenario of how I'm putting together my portfolios, what I've been investing in, and how that particular thing helps me in terms of growing the wealth and growing the portfolios to a certain point, and then growing my income every month. So if you're interested in increasing your income every month, that's why these high yield dividend funds are so important to include in your portfolio. And I know some people say, I may be a little nervous. I don't know if they're going to work out. I've been investing in these things since September of last year, so about 8 months, something like that. They've been doing great. Some of them do have some NAV erosion or net asset value erosion. The one I gave you, QQQY, has returned 69% so far over the past year, or so far up to date. Now, the way to get rid of some of that NAV erosion, or where the value falls while it's paying you this monthly income, is to also invest in what I do. Is I invest in the ETF QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100 exchange traded fund. That has been increasing very well over the last few years. So the NASDAQ market is generally the highest moving market. It moves more and better than the S&P 500. So I tend to put most of the money into the QQQ, but I also have some in SPY, which is SPY. That mirrors the S&P 500 index. Now, the other fund that I was going to let you know about is JEPY. J-E-P-Y. J-E-P-Y. That's another high yield dividend play that has returned roughly 49%. And so, kind of just to share with you off my Robinhood platform, and then you can also include it in the links. If you don't have any of these accounts, I would suggest you get them because I like to have multiple accounts, and I like the way some of the graphics and the way of the way they allow you to trade and to invest. I enjoy them. So I have Moomoo. Moomoo is one, and you'll get stock from joining. Moomoo, I will also. That's fine. That's a great platform. Also, I have a link in the description and on my CRAIGTRADER.com page for Robinhood and for Stash. I use all of them for different purposes. Mainly, my main brokerage account is in my E-Trade account. So that's like my main one. But I can do things in these other accounts that I can't do in my E-Trade account, such as buying partial shares. So you may have, for instance, a stock that's $100. I may have that $100 to invest today. I may not want to put that whole $100 in one stock. So I may want to put 25 of it in QQQ. I may want to put 25 of it in SPY. I may want to put $25 in Nvidia, and then the balance of the $25 in, say, Bitcoin, things of that nature. Well, on Robinhood platforms and some of these others, you can do that. So just to show you in one account, so I have $12,855 in my Robinhood account right now. And I'm building this account up, and then if you notice the graph, it actually moves in real time. So even on a day today, like Memorial Day, where the market is closed, that's moving because it's showing also some of the pre-market, but mostly because of my cryptocurrency account. The crypto is moving right now. And just to give you an idea of the crypto market, I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have some Litecoin, I have Dogecoin, I have some Shiba Inu, and these are great investments. I think that long term, the crypto market is going to really explode over the next, say, 12 months or so, because after that Bitcoin halving, historically, which happens every 4 years, historically, the Bitcoin has had an exponential great run or bull market over the next few months. And like I said before, it's never wrong to take profit. So if you find that you've put your money in something, you're going to keep it long term, of course. But say that money has doubled, or that account has doubled, or has tripled. It's up to you if you want to keep all your money in there, or if you want to trim back some and spend some, or take some of that off the table, your profits, and put it into another investment that you feel may be even better, or may move faster, or just a speculative player. So I have most of my accounts and portfolio are in things that I'm really, really confident in, that I think have a high growth rate, and I think will do really, really well over time. But some is speculative. So, but that's up to you. It's up to the person. Like I said, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a friend sharing the journey. Want you to come in on the journey with me. We grow richer together. We're not going to lose. We may lose some trades, but overall we're going to win, because this is a channel for winners. This is a platform for winners. We don't give up. We go in. Sometimes if the stock goes down, I'm doubling down on it, because I believe in the dip, buying on the dip of many good stocks. And guess what? When it goes up, my money will double and triple with it. So I don't run from the market. I run to the market. When people are running out of some stocks, I wait till I figure like they're close to a bottom or near a bottom, or maybe it did bottom. You can't time it properly. But a good stock, when they run from it, I'm running into it. So I'm dollar cost averaging or DCAing into certain things right now. I have it set on automatic on Robinhood to buy a certain amount, like $10 per week or something, or $20 a week, or $10 per day, or $5 per day on some things. Some of my crypto, I'm doing that. So this is something that you can incorporate in your investment plan. And you have to know you have to have a plan. Your plan can tweak, it can change, but have a plan. Establish a plan of what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish. How much wealth are you trying to get by a certain amount of time? On my CRAIGTRADER.com site, I did include an investment calculator. And I was talking to a friend of mine, actually my brother-in-law, the other day, and we were talking about the investment calculator. He's at retirement age and he's about to retire, so he said it may not do him much good, but for people that are investing longer term. But let me just say this. The investment calculator does well for everybody, because even if you're retiring or you got 10 years to invest, or 20 years more to invest, or 30 years more to invest, you can still play with the figures, and you can put in the amount of money you have right now and your anticipated return over time, so many years, and it'll give you an accurate figure of what your account value or your net worth or your portfolio value will be worth at that time. That's very important, because that portfolio can become worth whatever. It can go from 10,000 to 100,000, or 50,000, or from 40,000 or 30,000 to 300,000 over time at a certain percentage of return. And that is awesome. That way you can kind of pinpoint where you're headed, how much money you'll have coming in, how much your income is, and how much you can afford to sell or plan for your future. So just to give you an idea of the QQQ market, I was giving you an example of what it has returned. So just even looking at this, as far as the QQQ market, and I'm sorry, on that QQQY I said 69% return. I'm sorry, that's the dividend yield on QQQY. So correction, QQQY, the dividend yield is 69%. So roughly, whatever you invest, we'll just say roughly, if you invest $1,000 in it, or $10,000, we'll say 1,000, your dividend amount or payout will be about $690. And then that divided by 12 tells you what your monthly payout would be. 10,000 would be about $6,900 divided by 12. So what, $500 and some dollars per month, and so on and so on. So this is how you can gauge your amount of money coming in every month, roughly, and it does fluctuate. So don't get scared. It may fluctuate depending on the profits brought out of this fund and what their distribution level is. But you can have a consistent income coming in addition to whatever you're bringing in from work or whatever you're planning, just simply by depositing a certain amount of money. And as I said, you don't have to put a whole lot in. You may want to put 1,000 in and try. You may want to put 100 in and try it out. While you're on a journey with me, and I'm going to be sharing some of these other ETFs that pay even more. But these are two great ones to kind of start out with some of the money. QQQY and JEPY does 49% yield, as I said. And the way that I handle the NAV erosion thing, or it may be seem like it's declining, is to invest in the actual underlying ETF, which will increase or override the amount of erosion by it being invested in that particular fund. So QQQ, or the Invesco QQQ NASDAQ 100, over the past year, it has return a 35% return. So while you may have money invested or have a lot of money in your high yield bank account paying 4 or 5% a year, I'm into a lot of this, and others are too, that is returning, as you see under the price, 35% in the graph over the last year. So, yeah, and you see that. Those are real figures, real time. For the S&P 500 fund, you may be in investments that are giving you a return of, like I said, 5%. You may be in the S&P 500, and you, like I said, it's 10% average over the last so many years since the inception of the stock market. But there are years where these funds do really, really well, way above that 10% average. That's how you get the 10% average. And of course, if they continue to do better, that average will change. So you'll start hearing experts say, well, the S&P 500, it returns an average of 12% or 13% a year, because it's calculated into that whole equation based on time and on return. So right now, for the past year, and if you see the graph, this has returned the S&P 500, Spider S&P 500 ETF, share price 529 if you want to do that, has returned 27.64% over the last year. 27%. So if you can calculate how much money you have invested, and just think about if you were able to gain 27% in the last year on the amount of money you have. Some people have 401ks that have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. They may have not rolled that money out of that 401k yet and into their own IRA or Roth IRA that they can control. That's a significant amount of money. It's a significant amount of money for all of us, even if you're starting at $1,000, or if you're on this, like I got 12,000 in this particular account, you may have 5,000-6,000 in account. The thing is, get in the game wherever you're at. If you have $25, $100 to invest, don't just sit on that money, because what will happen is that money will find somewhere to go. I need to say that again. If you're sitting on money and it's not producing money, it'll find somewhere to go. One thing is, if it's not increasing, you're losing, because inflation, prices are going up. Prices are going up. Prices are not going to stop going up. That's just the way of life. That's industry. If you're sitting on a bunch of cash, you're losing money, because our cash is growing in investments. Your cash is losing value because of the cost of things going up. You see what I'm saying? You may say, well, I don't want to lose it. You are losing it. You see that you may not understand, but you are losing value. You are losing an opportunity to invest that money, to grow the money. And so, as good stewards over our finances and good stewards over whatever, you may want to leave a legacy for your kids and help teach them some of this. You may want to leave some to your grandkids. You may want to increase using these investments to increase your monthly income to help someone out. Not just help yourself out, but to help someone else out. You may have some elderly people in your family, your parents, and you say, man, I don't want to go get an extra job to be able to, because I got to see how mom and dad is doing. I'd like to buy some more food from, some more groceries. Little things like that can touch people's lives a great deal. It can affect an extra $500, and I don't know about some of you, but an extra $500 a month can make a big difference in a lot of people's lives. Can somebody attest to that? An extra $700, $800, $1,000 a month is a game changer for a lot of people's lives. So I want to share these things with you because they have been a game changer in my life. It has completely changed my life for the better. completely changed my life for the better. I'm able to vacation more. I'm able to help out more with my daughters and help out my granddaughters and my grandsons with different things. But also it provides freedom. So it gives you time to be able to meditate, pray, think, whatever you do. And because I'm a very spiritual person, and I may not get into a lot of that on this channel because there's going to be another platform for that. Some people are non-spiritual, and that's fine. Do what you do. I don't have a problem with it if it works for you. But it provides more time for you to do with whatever is valuable to you. Whatever you find value in, that extra money creates time for you to do it. One of the best ways to redeem your time is to make some extra money, because now you can spend time on something that you say, I didn't have time to spend that time doing that. I was always hustling, man. I've been there and done that. I've worked overtime, a lot of overtime and extra hours. But guess what I was doing? I was working a lot of overtime, not just to pay bills, but to shovel money into the stock market so that I can have chances to increase my wealth and to get me into a point and past the point where I say, I got to get to a point where I don't have to hustle anymore. If I'm hustling and I'm working, it's because I want to build more. I desire that. That's in me. But I don't have to. I don't have to work. I really don't. I mean, work, when you're managing your accounts and you're managing your investments, that is work. So you have to do that part. But as far as going out physically, going to a job, no, I don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that. This is my job, investing and sharing with others and building platforms that can help transform people's lives the way it's transformed my life. So I'm doing something. I'm practicing what I preach. And I know that it works. See, that's the thing. Some people will give you theoretical stuff. This is paying my bills every month. This is allowing me to travel to places I haven't gone to before. This is allowing me to say, you know what, I want to take today off, and I don't have to ask anybody, can I take today off? Or I can reschedule an appointment simply because it maybe an emergency came up, or simply because that day I'm just not feeling it, and I want to spend some me time. I may want to go get a massage. I may want to go and sit on a beach. I may want to go to downtown and just walk around, or in my neighborhood, or go to a movie. I love the movies, by the way. So this is some of the things that can transform your life. Income can transform your life. And I know a lot of people may say, well, money can't bring you happiness. We're not talking about that right now. So I know sometimes we got overly religious people. You have to learn to have happiness within yourself. But what money will provide you is with opportunities to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. So, but you got to find your own inner happiness, your own inner peace with whatever brings you that. And hopefully it's something progressive that helps yourself, helps those around you, helps bring light to the dark spaces in this world. So I'm very much for that. Like I said, one love. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that as I'm releasing more material, you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to share it. And like I said, please share it with everyone. If you're finding value in it, and I know you will, because you wouldn't be tuned in if you're not finding some value in this. So it's very important to do. Very important that we help one another. So you have to use these things. There's another thing called psychology of investing. So some people have a fear factor of investing, fear that they're not going to succeed, fear that they're going to lose money. Start moving beyond the fear, because that will hinder you from moving forward. Fear can cripple your progress. I just want you to know that. Fear can cripple your progress. You can have something that's shown to you, that's proven, that works. I know people right now in my personal life They they have the money and just haven't tried some of these high yield dividend paying things. And I'm living off of them every month. This as well as some others that I'm going to share with you, because I do believe in diversification. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I may put my eggs, so-called eggs, in 50 baskets. As I said, I'm invested in energy. I'm invested in gold. I'm invested in silver. I'm invested in a little bit of art. I'm invested in the energy sector with stocks. I'm invested in some of my main investments that I want to share with you is Nvidia. Nvidia stock symbol, ticker symbol, NVDA. Nvidia probably has provided the most gains in my portfolio out of anything else so far. So if you're familiar with Nvidia, it's the number one chip maker for these different, and even when it comes to AI chips and gaming chips and things like that, it's just a phenomenal business. And even over this past week, the share price jumped on earnings from, I think, roughly $9.40 to over $1,000 per share. Well, you can buy Nvidia if you have one of these platforms, ROBINHOOD or Moomoo or Stash. You can buy them. You may say, well, I got $100 I want to put in Nvidia. You can do that. Some people say, well, it's not enough money. I may not make much off of it. What's much? 20% return for a person with 1,000 is the same 20% return for somebody that has 100. The same 20% return if you only put $20 in it. A return is a return. It's increasing your wealth where you're at. And then you can increase that over time. You don't have to say, well, I'm going to wait till I get $50. I'm going to wait till I get, no. Put 10 in. And then put another 10 in. And when you make another 20, put another 10 in. And when you make another 50, put another 20 in. When you make $100, then put another 50 in. If you make $1,000 from so, put 700 into your investment. This is how you build over time exponentially, because you're focused on growth and not on waiting. Or you're focused on growth, you're focused on increase, and not on waiting for the perfect scenario situation. That won't happen. The perfect time for investing is now, even if it's $1, because it'll get you into an investing mindset. And when you start seeing these gains, psychologically, your mind is going to say, oh, this is working. It's increasing. What I put in, I can actually see it growing. That's important to the psyche. See, you always hear on the news about the bad things, the bills, this or that, the unemployment rates and all of that stuff. You can't let that stuff really get to you. Don't let all of that get in your psyche. You can form your own economy. You can form your own investment goals. You can create an account that gives you the returns you want to have, and it's not based on the outside world. The stock market has very little to do with what goes on in the economy. And as those of you know that has invested in, we've seen the economy many times taking some stocks take off. Some do well in a bad economy. Gold does better in an economy most of the time that's worsening. Energy, oil prices, things like that may go up. The chip sector has been doing great. And I invest heavily in technology. I invest heavily in QQQ and in technology and Nvidia and Amazon and Facebook and which is Meta and Google. I'm investing heavily in that stuff. Microsoft. But even there's ETFs that will help you invest better in these things overall as a group. And one ticker symbol is SOXX. SOXX. And that is the ticker symbol for an ETF, the iShares Semiconductor ETF. It's at $238.60 right now. And just for this, if you want to think about the returns on this, over the past year, this, because it's invested in several different semiconductor stocks that's within this fund, it has increased 58% over the last year. Now, I had one of my sisters in the past when I was trying to tell her about these investments, and I said, you know, sis, there's investments that you can make. I think she was making 7% on her money. I said, sis, there's investments where you can make 20, 30%, and 80% return on your money. And she said, well, why aren't you doing it? And that just goes to show you, well, sometimes we're sharing with family or friends. They may not mean any harm, but they just don't understand. You may have knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. There is even a scripture that says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Not because of lack of your belief or spirituality, but because of a lack of knowledge, you can hold yourself back. So she said, well, if it works, why aren't you doing it? I said, I am doing it. So people can assume that you're just talking, but I don't like that. I don't like to talk without purpose. So when I give out something, it's because I think it's beneficial. I think it's going to be beneficial to the hearer. And it's not always just about conversation. And I'm a very comical person, and I love humor also, and you'll see some of that on this platform. But I believe in education. I believe in discovery. I believe in historical things and facts. And let's get some facts and figures together, and let's do some experimentation and see how this thing works for us. How can we better? How can we improve? How can we tweak the system to make it better for us, to make it crafted to your lifestyle? How can you design your life in a way that is going to be beneficial for you and the people you care for? Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. I'm in the process of writing a book right now, so that'll be out shortly. I'll let everyone know about that, about investing in the market. But this can set you on easy street, what we call easy street, easy living. So this is just kind of an overview, a market cap of what's been going on, the things to plan for. If you want to get into gold investments, which I would always say have an amount of your portfolio in gold and silver. I have about 10% of my portfolio in those things. There's some funds. GDX is one. That's the symbol. GLD, silver, SLV, SIL. So these are things you can look at the ticker. And I do have a link to Yahoo Finance in my website, CRAIGTRADER.com, where you can put symbols in there and see how they've been performing and things. And in the comments section, let me know some of the topics you want to hear about. Share some feedback with if you're getting value from these videos and some of the things you'd like to have me share with you or we discuss. Energy sector, the symbol is XLE for the energy sector, and that's dealing with the energy, with oil, gas, natural gas investments. So please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell, share it. Let's get the word out. Hey, it's time to increase. It's time to get better. It's time for us to move ahead of all of these man-made planned events that are coming. And for those of you that are talking about a great wealth transfer, this is one of them. This is one of the main great ways to transfer wealth from those that we figure have it or had it. Transfer some of that into your account with the gains they're making. Take the ride with them. Take the ride with the wealthy. Do what the wealthy do, and you can achieve what the wealthy achieve. Okay? Do what the poor do, and you'll achieve what the poor get. I remember Reverend Ike said, one of the greatest things you can do for the poor is not to be one of them. That's powerful. One of the best things you can do for the poor is not to be one of them. Why? Because you can help teach them how to get richer, those that want to learn. You can give to them if you want. You've got the money to do it now because you're not one of them. You can help more of them. You can help change your community where rather than talking about it and complaining. You can help vote these politicians out that are not doing things according to your agenda. You don't see many people running around on TV talking about, oh, this person's getting voted in office, that person's about to get voted, because their economy is about progress and wealth. It doesn't really matter who's in the office because the office will always provide for the wealthy. Hello, somebody? The office, whoever's in that office, that Oval Office, behind that resolute desk, as they say, they're going to have to dance to the tune of the wealthy and the business people that provide the economy and jobs in this country. So if I'm investing along with what they invest in, I'm in for the ride. My wealth is increasing. Your wealth is increasing. And, of course, overall, you want somebody who's going to have policies for the people. But how many presidents have we had that really provided a lot of policies for the average person? They'll provide you with a handout, but they hope you spend that into the economy. When I was getting my stimulus checks, guess what I was doing? I'd spend a little on me, and I'd put a whole lot back into the stock market. So, yeah, I'll take the handouts, but the handouts they give to you, you got to use them to level up. Use whatever you get to level up. Don't just be a consumer, be a producer, be an investor. Anyone can be an investor. I don't care if you have a background, if you're an ex-felon, ex-con, and all of that kind of stuff. I've been through some things in the past myself. Guess what? Get over it and move forward. Get over it and move forward. What can you do to transform your life with the information that you're getting? That's what's important. So I hope you enjoyed yourself today. I hope I was able to share quite a bit about myself and about this platform. I hope I was able to share, and I know I was able to share you with information that will help you to increase, help you to grow, help you to become a better investor, a wealthier person, a person who can have more freedom in their lives. That's my goal. That's my way of saying I can help better this world by sharing these things with others. It's not just about the money. The money is nice. The money can be better, and it will be better, and it'll be nicer. But that's not what I live for. I live to enhance. I look at part of my purpose. My main purpose is here to help enhance this world. There's a lot of wicked and evil things going on in this world. My part and your part is to help be more light in this world. More light, more illumination. Not part of that stuff they call the Illuminati. And we ain't worried about them either. But be a part of the light bearer, the light giver, the knowledgeable, the faithful. Get into the game. You can't win the game unless you're in the game. You